Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Steve Looney from GraphicDesignerTips.com, and in today's video tutorial, I want to start out by asking you a question. Do you want to become a better graphic designer? All right? If the answer is yes, then this video is going to help you. If the answer is no, you obviously clicked on the wrong video because I'm certainly not that good looking that you would spend 10 minutes of your life to actually listen to me. We've been told our whole life, if you want to become successful at anything, all right, you need to look at people who are doing what you want to do or at a level you want to be at, and you need to figure out what they did and you need to implement it yourself. Now, I'm not speaking for me in this case because I'm at a growing level myself. I'm always looking to grow and be better and grow my knowledge and everything. And in turn, as I'm blogging now, help you out as artists on the internet learn also. In our field, it's very unique because you can learn from just opening up a magazine. When I graduated college in 2006, you get enough tools from college about graphic design. You do your classes, you put your senior project together, you work on other projects collaborative with other students, you do an internship, you get really you're starting to get into that mode of, oh man, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. This is what I'm going to make my living off of. When I graduated college, I got a job at an ad agency in Long Island, New York, a couple months later, and I was really pumped about it to start getting to work. And I'll tell you, the first couple months, I was kind of bummed out with the work that they were giving me, but in the end, it really turned out to be work that really helped me out today as an artist. I'm going to explain that. So basically, I'd go to work every day, and there would be ads, from clients through the ad agency. And, wherever you live, you have like your main newspaper, and then you have like other magazines that go out, and then you have mailings and direct mails. So basically, my job was to take artwork that was already completed and resize it and like take like an 8.5 by 11 and make it like, fit in a number 10 envelope. And I was just doing this monotonous work all day and just continually, and it was like, what the hell's going on here? I'm like, I'm not learning anything. But really what it was, and it was kind of like the Karate Kid, the original Karate Kid. I'm not talking about Will Smith's son, a couple of years ago, because I say the word Karate Kid and nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about sometimes. It's called wax on, wax off theory, all right? We've all seen the movies. If you haven't, just YouTube wax on, wax off, and you'll get the point. So I was doing all this crazy work over and over and over again. And it really, really, honestly, to this day, it taught me to be such a better artist because you're taking an ad that's one size and you're refilling it with all the same elements in another size. It's a very big challenge. So that's what this video is about. After my little ramble, we're going to jump into the computer and I'm going to show you, I'm going to take an ad that I've designed for a client of mine and I'm going to resize it to a really funky size, and we're going to have to get all those elements in there without making things too small, without distorting anything text-wise, image-wise, and it's a real challenge. And going back to what I said originally about wanting to be successful and looking at successful people in the world, if you're in a waiting room, it's the best with me. If I'm in a waiting room with my wife, it could be like the most, she's going to the girl doctor or whatever. I'm opening up the magazine. Everybody's looking at me like, what the hell is this guy looking at that magazine for? Is there something, is something wrong with this guy? No, I'm looking at the ads. I don't care about the stories, nothing. I'm looking at the ads on how people did the artwork and stuff like that. So successful people work at companies that get ads in those papers. So you need to look at it, even if you rip them out. I mean, who cares? Out of the newspaper, you need to look at successful design. It's there. It's a gold mine right before your eyes. You need to realize this. So let's jump into this ad. I'm going to show you how to resize it. Then I'm going to come back and wrap it up. Okay, so on the left is an ad that I have designed, and I've done a tutorial on this before, the home inspection ad. And basically what I just did for the purpose of this tutorial, if I was to do this off the top of my head right now and have you guys watching what I was doing, it could be at least a half hour or more because that's what it actually just took. I had a bunch of ideas in mind, and at first they didn't work, so I kind of finished and finalized on this one. But over to the right, I set up another artboard in Adobe Illustrator CS6, and this is the size that would fit in a number 10 envelope. And basically, it's kind of like, say the original ad on the left. It's an 8.5, 11 letter size. Say this person, you know, they were printing out letters on their own printer and handing them out as flyers, and now they want to send them out, direct mail wise. They want to send them out and get to their clients that way. So these elements would have to be redesigned, and if you notice, there's a couple things that have to change. You can't always use all the same elements. You might have to change things around a little bit. And I'm just going to point out a few things. We're going to go through this real quick. We have the logo here. We have the, there's a photo there. There's a photo there. And there's still those same photos in the background. But now the grass is lower because, you know, you don't want the grass to be this high. It's going to be, actually that kind of works, but I kind of want it a little bit more subtle, because I don't want too much attention to that color. It's pretty bold down there. And New York State licensed and insured. I had to change that because at first I was laying that over the grass where it was white, and now it's in the air over here where the background is white. So you have to have obviously a darker color for it to pop off. So that is one change. The text box, the main text box has changed to fit that area right there. The bullet points have changed slightly. This whole little graphic in here, and this is pretty much all centered. I just kind of eyed that up and centered that, so, but it looks pretty dead on. I mean, I could line these up here flush right if I wanted to, but I actually kind of like everything kind of centered right now. We have Call Us Today, which is in a different area. It's more prominent. It's closer to the contact information in this case. The reason I did it over here was I liked how it broke up the, it breaks up these two elements, the picture and this body of text. And I reformatted this little bottom area by moving, this guy was right in the middle, and I moved it over here to kind of just, you know, create some balance. You got that little area right there, and it's just empty, and it's, you know, it's bothering the hell out of me. So I put the hourglass right there, magnifying glass, excuse me, right there. And this element, these aren't really, these are kind of just accents, but I ended up putting one here to kind of break this off over here, because this is nice big space in the middle. It's, you want to do more with the space you have. You don't always have to fill every space, but if you got a big gap like that, you know, something's got to be done. This gap over here is okay because it's on the right side of the piece. Nobody cares about that area because they're really reading the piece like this. They're coming down. Actually, they're more like coming here, and they're coming straight down to the contact information. So this little gap here, that gap, nobody's going to give a crap about that. It's not going to make or break it. But this is, like I said, this took about a half hour for me to really figure it out because I had an idea and it wasn't working out the way I wanted it. You'll never, ever, ever see your layout before it's done. It's a progressive thing. It's going to constantly evolve and change throughout your whole layout. Okay, so I'm sure after watching that, you can get how after doing this for a little while, it's going to help you get a lot better. Technical, thinking of, you're solving a puzzle each time. So there'll be instances where you're taking an ad this big and you're making it into an ad this tiny. There's some things you're not going to include in there. You got to know which parts to include, the most important parts. A lot of times your client will convey that to you, or your boss will convey that to you. But I want to leave you all with a question. It's kind of a fun question, and although this was kind of something that was laid upon me at my job, which I mentioned earlier, my first job my first career job in this, and it turned out to be something great in the end. But what is something that your boss is having you do right now as a graphic artist that's really just ticking you the hell off? Maybe it's not helping you, but it just be something funny to hear. Kind of like I worked at an ad agency, and I had to pick up and drop off actors that would come into our studio. I had to go to train stations. I had to go food shopping sometimes, and do some really stupid stuff just because I was the new guy. So would love to hear from you. Hopefully this video helps you out. I know it sounds boring, okay? You need to go into magazines, you need to take out ads, you need to go on the internet, find out what successful people are doing, and you need to redesign their ads. Design them, and you'll learn the little elements, you'll get better at it, and you'll be like, okay, this is something I could use for an ad for one of my clients one day, a nice effect or a shape or the way that the typography is. So it's going to help you out in the end, and that's all I got to say about that. So comment, let me know what you think. I'm going to keep these videos rolling, a couple per week. So I need to hear from you guys, and definitely like this video because it's important. It helps us get out there. Excuse me. And subscribe to this channel. You'll get these in your email every single time they come out, as soon as possible, hot off the press. Again, I'm Steve Looney from GraphicDesignerTips.com. Have a great night.